Have you ever seen or experienced something that you can't fully explain yourself?
Yes, I have.
You want to go into an example?
Sure. We were doing Stephen Greer has a CE5 protocol that he does to call in beings, and we were starting a Phoenix working group. So two of his main people that live here in Phoenix wanted to get Jim Mann and I involved with the group and start like a Phoenix working group. So we had about 6 or 7 people, and we would go out into the desert and found a spot out there that looked like it was just prime for what we wanted to do. And so we'd go into these deep meditations for maybe 20, 25 minutes, and you're listening to a series of tones that put you into this meditative state. And at this one moment, we all had brand new equipment. I mean, some of the protocols for going out there was you had brand new batteries in your flashlight. You had brand new batteries in your recording device. Your cell phone was fully charged when you went out there. We had everything done in place. And we woke up from this meditation that we had done for about 25 or 30 minutes. And as we opened our eyes, we noticed that there was these little tiny sparky things of light everywhere, all over the hillside, all over the sagebrush next to us, all over people. It was kind of like in the movie Avatar when those little floaty things went down and landed on their arms.
Yeah.
Kind of like that, but they were tiny little sparky things of light, like fireflies. But we don't have fireflies out here. And they were smaller than that, and they would just be like the tiniest little pinpricks of light, but they were everywhere, and they were on our arms. They were around people's heads. They were on the ground, covering the whole hillside, the sagebrush. It was just the trippiest thing I've ever seen. And I thought, oh, well, it's just our eyes have been shut for a long time, and it's just the little synapses, of light going off. But no, everyone was seeing these. It wasn't that.
Could you feel them?
No,
Okay.
could not feel it. But, it just hit me very bizarrely out there as here we are asking for contact, and the contact that we were getting was a signature of energy. So it wasn't like what we were expecting, the mothership isn't going to land over here on the hillside by us. But we were making contact in some way. There was an energy signature that left itself with us and showed itself. And it lasted about 15 minutes. And then it faded away. And we kept thinking, what time is it? I asked someone across the circle that we were sitting, and I said, hey, what time does your cell phone say? And she reached down in her bag and she picked up her cell phone and she dropped it and she goes, God, that thing's burning hot. So it was so hot, and she picked it up again and it went, remember when they all used to make that sound before they went dead?
Yeah.
Went dead right there in her hand.
Huh. And
so someone else picked up their cell phone. Same thing. Same sound. Went dead immediately. So Jim and I are kind of like, wow, let's go check our cell phones back in the car. And as we were walking back to where we were parked, we were kind of joking, thinking, man, these people believe anything. Yeah. We were just kind of, freaked out by it, but still thinking,
still even skeptical.
Yes,
Okay.
still, because this is just so far out of your normal realm of thinking, right? So we went back there and got I saw my cell phone on in my purse through the car window before I even got into it. So why was it on? There's no service out there. It's a complete dead zone out there.
Yeah.
So I checked with Verizon the next day and said, would this work out there? And like, no, your cell phones don't work that way. Even if they were roaming, they wouldn't have gone dead. And they wouldn't be hot like that. It doesn't work that way. So mine went dead the second I got it out of my purse. Jim's said, hey, I still got service. I still got it. And as he's touting his stuff there, it went dead.
Huh.
So all of our recording devices went dead. Even the really high quality Marantz recorder that we had out there with us with fresh batteries in it was not working. It did not record anything. So we're thinking, well, this is kind of weird. Not only do we have this weird sparky light thing going on, but now every bit of electronics is dead. I thought, God, I hope the car battery's still working. And the car batteries did. They worked. On our way back into town that night, everything came back to life. Now, when your battery goes down all the way to 0 and it's dead, it doesn't get a charge again until you charge it up.
Yeah.
All of our devices came back on as we drove into town. Every one of them, full charge. So explain that. I don't know what was going on. Something was messing with it. Okay, something was messing with our communication devices as we were trying to communicate with them. That's what I got out of this.
Yeah.
And they left us a signature in the form of light, that energy, that little sparky thing going on. So it was very strange. It was really strange.
Yeah.
I cannot explain that. It happened to us one other time when we went out there and we thought, let's go see if we can duplicate this. And it happened again, not as brilliantly as it did the first time, but yeah, again. So I can't explain.
So it's like the little balls of light and whatnot. Did you feel like there was consciousness within the light or anything like that?
I didn't feel that. I didn't feel a consciousness or a presence. I didn't feel that. Maybe I was just too freaked out by it.
Yeah.
You know, because it was really just the strangest thing I'd ever seen.
How is Greer? Like, does he? I've never met him, but I've heard mixed things. A lot of people definitely are fans, but then like someone like Joe Rogan, I think he doesn't. He like is skeptical of everything that guy says.
Yeah. You know, he's a very commanding presence, Dr. Greer. He's very tall, very built, very proud of it. He's done a lot of things that I've heard him talk about and read about, but as part of his working group here in Phoenix, we never experienced anything that I've ever heard happens at his, ambassador to the universe gatherings. So yeah, I'm very skeptical that stuff really happens. I'd seen some video footage just recently about a hoax that he made out on the Outer Banks. I think, North Carolina, South Carolina, somewhere over there, the Outer Banks. Yeah. So I don't know. I've met him and talked to him a couple of times and I was not impressed. He's very arrogant, so arrogant that it just kind of made me sick to talk to him. So, maybe it just all went to his head. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he probably has something going on. He might be just super sensitive or just very, able to communicate or thinks he can. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to prove.
The only reason I ask that is because, and it's interesting that you say that about how he tried to hoax something. Apparently, I don't know if I were trying to come up with some type of logical explanation for that, maybe thinking about some type of device where it kind of just, I don't know, like an EMP almost. But if it were an EMP, it wouldn't come back to life right after you get out of the range. But I guess if you were in range of some device that had the capability to zap energy like that, as soon as you got out of range, it would stop affecting your devices, right?
It would seem that way. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That is interesting, though.
Yeah.
The fact that they were just kind of floating balls of light right there.
A lot of people love Stephen Greer. A lot of people really don't care for him at all.
Na 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 na.